the Virgin Queen who ruled an empire but couldn't escape her mother's death. For 45 years, she sat on the throne of England. She crushed the Spanish Armada. She beheaded her own cousin. She ruled without a king beside her. Men feared her, nations bowed to her. But every night when the candles went out, Elizabeth I became something else, a daughter. A terrified little girl with a box under her bed. For 25 years she kept a secret that no ambassador knew, no spy could steal it, no army could take it from her, because the secret was blood. Her mother's blood, it began on a cold morning. 19th May 1536, the Tower of London, Anne Boleyn, the second wife of Henry VIII, the mother of Elizabeth, they said she was a traitor, a witch. An adulteress. None of it was true, but truth did not matter when a king wanted you gone. She walked to the scaffold without chains. She wore gray, not black. She said she would not mourn herself. She knelt, she prayed, and then she said the words that would follow her daughter for life. "I come only to die." They had brought a swordsman from France, because an English axe was messy. And Henry VIII wanted it clean. One strike. Her head rolled forward and fell into a wooden box. The box they used for arrows, a queen reduced to a target. Elizabeth was 2 years old. She did not remember the scaffold. She did not remember her mother's face. But she would remember the silence that came after. The silence of a court that pretended Anne Boleyn had never existed. Her father remarried within weeks. Her mother's name was erased from books. Her portraits were taken down, and Elizabeth was declared a bastard, but blood does not erase. And 22 years later, Elizabeth would demand it back. 1558, the bells rang, Mary was dead. Elizabeth, aged 25, walked out of Hatfield House and became queen. She rode into London with red hair like fire. The people cheered. The Virgin Queen had arrived. But her first act as monarch had nothing to do with Spain, nothing to do with religion. She sent men to the Tower. "Bring me what is left of her," she said. They found it in a dusty chest, forgotten, hidden by servants who were too afraid to burn it, a small oak box, black velvet on the outside, no jewels. No gold, inside a piece of linen, it was stiff. Brown, it was the cloth that had wrapped Anne Boleyn's severed head. It still carried the stain, dried blood, her mother's blood. Her council begged her, "Your Majesty, burn it, it is unholy, it will curse your reign." Elizabeth looked at them, and she did not speak. She closed the box, she locked it with her own key. And she wore that key on a chain under her gown for the rest of her life. That box went everywhere with her. To Whitehall, to Richmond, to Greenwich. It sat on a small table beside her bed. Courtiers thought it was a prayer book. It was not, it was a grave. And every year on one date the Queen of England would vanish, 19th May, the day Anne died. On that day no music played in the palace, no feasts, no dancing. The guards were told, "The Queen is not to be disturbed." She would lock the doors herself. Her ladies-in-waiting would wait outside. And they would hear it, the scratching, the sound of wood on wood, as if someone was trying to get out. And then the whispering. They never understood the words, but one maid swore she heard it once. "Mama, Mama, why did you leave me?" The Queen of England was talking to a dead woman. For 25 years this happened, from 1558 to 1583. The longer she ruled, the worse it became. Because power did not heal her. Power made it worse. She had seen what her father did to queens. She had seen what her sister did to Protestants. And now she was the one signing the warrants. 1587. She signed the death warrant for Mary, Queen of Scots, her cousin, her blood. She signed it, then she wept. Then she denied she had signed it. She blamed her secretary. She sent him to the Tower. That night she did not open the box. Her hands shook too much to hold the key. She sat in the dark and said only one sentence over and over. "I have become him." She meant her father. The man who killed her mother. She could execute a queen, but she could not face the cloth that held her mother's head. The box became her prison. She never visited the Tower again after 1570. Too many ghosts on the walls, too many heads on the spikes of London Bridge. She told her advisors it was for security. It was not. It was fear. In her private letters, she never mentioned Anne. In her speeches, she never spoke her mother's name. But in the dark, she spoke to no one else. The physician, Dr. Lopez, wrote in a private note, "The Queen keeps a relic." She believes it protects her. In truth, it consumes her. By the 1590s, she was old. Her hair was red no more. It was white under the wigs. Her face was painted white to hide the scars of smallpox. But the eyes were still the eyes of a 2-year-old girl who lost her mother. 1603. March. Elizabeth was dying. She refused to lie in a bed. For 12 days she sat on cushions on the floor. She wore all black, no crown, no jewels. She would not eat, she would not sleep. Her attendants begged her to rest. She shook her head. "Bring me the box," she said. They did. Her hands were too weak to open it herself. A lady did it for her. The linen inside was almost dust now, 50 years old. She touched it with one finger, and she smiled. Her last words were not about England, not about the throne. She looked at the empty air and whispered, "Mother, I kept you safe." And then she died, still holding the box. They pried it from her fingers after her heart stopped. And then it was gone. James I, her successor, searched the palace. No record, no inventory. The black velvet box vanished the night she died. Some say James burned it. He hated the memory of Anne Boleyn. Others say a loyal maid hid it in the walls of Windsor Castle. And others say it is still there, behind stone, in the dark, waiting. Because some things do not rot, some blood does not dry, and some guilt does not die with you. Elizabeth I ruled longer than any Tudor before her. She made England a power. She killed enemies without mercy, but she could not kill one thing: memory. The Virgin Queen who ruled an empire spent 25 years sleeping beside her mother's death. And in the end, she died holding it, because you can command fleets. You can command armies, but you cannot command a ghost, and Anne Boleyn never left her daughter alone.